popularity in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely the case. So we'll see if that's going to do work for Hard. Of course, big on the only other tank in the lineup, support Trundle. Just not going to have that much gold to spend on
takes a long time to get
random
going. Like I said, you don't want to waste any time.
Yeah.
It goes right into the bunch of flat armor penetration.
Wait till 35 minutes to get your first tank. That sounds like a great team comp there for Xbox. Well, we'll see what happens, guys. It's time to get on the Rift. It's time for you to get on Twitter and let us know who's going to win this match. We're tracking the poll throughout the series, so send your votes. Hashtag NRG win, hashtag FOX win. Let us know if it's going to be Echo Fox or Energy Esports here. Game 1 and a best of 5 where the stakes are a spot in the LCS. If you lose, you're down the challenger for the next split, and we'll see you in 2017. But here we go. The last match these teams will play this year. Let's get into game 1.
As they said on the desk, too, game 1 can be a huge factor in that mental game, which is a very big part of this series. When you're at your last line here, your last series, somebody's going to have to drop out. Puts a lot more pressure on all of the players. Everybody fanning out, not wanting to make any aggressive moves early, just defensive openings here. Drop down some wards. You can do a little bit later of an invade and try and group up after the fan, but it doesn't look like it's happening here. And everybody can tend to have standard lanes in game 1 to determine who gets the lead here early on in the series.
And I do want to point out for those keeping track, the promo tournament is still being played on 6.14, so that first tower goal does not exist. It probably does help Ziggs if it were 6.15 to help knock that down, but we are still on the basically the week 9 LCS patch, staying in the same one.
There it is, the late lane swap they were talking about. They're waiting to wait to have the swap. Keith and Big will head up top. Kiwiki gonna try and invade here, get that vision down. I don't think they're gonna go in and be able to stop him though.
Yeah, it looks like it's still gonna be ultimately blind. I believe we'll be able to get jungle camps for most of these players. Ooh, we've actually got the Karma and Co invading. OQ and Kiwiki trying to stop Hard and KFO.
How
Keith
far are they going to go? Because Kiwikid has a ward on the Wraith. If they had stopped and done red, yeah, Kiwikid sees them on the Wraith, so he's going to come over and they'll get chased out of the entire jungle. Meanwhile, Santorin, they were able to get those Krugs. They'll probably get chased off the red, but just getting that one extra
level 1
camp
Trundle though. This is not. Yeah, if
but
Santorin
you don't have
yeah.
to fight here, so yeah, you get chased off.
Be risky to try. Big fighting them off, and yes, it's going to reset the red. So Krugs were able to be taken by Energy. They got an extra camp that Echo Fox's jungle duo did not get. But in both cases, the junglers had to run around, and actually, Quite Hard goes back into the Raptors and takes a somewhat greedy jungle camp that normally you're not allowed to get. I actually like this. I think this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been going back to get one off of their weak side if they do get chased out. It does cost you more time, though, because you have to double back. You have to backtrack over your previous path that you already did. So people have been doing that quite a lot just to make sure they don't put all the camps on their weak side. But it does delay you a little bit. Can be hard to stop if she gets a lead like that. I think they'll be fine, though. Santorin and Hard are pretty close at the moment. As far as the lane swap is going, both towers really close as well, so nobody really going to get out of that early lead. We'll see when they swap back, though, because Echo Fox will be on the bottom side, and if they do get a lead on the second turret trade, if both of them consent to that, that's where we start to see the complexities come in with how many people do we send to stop Dragon? Do we even try and stop the Dragon to contest it? Rift Herald obviously not spawning until 6 minutes.
There we go. As the turrets fall down to the first side, we've got pretty much hard shoves from some of the top lanes. Actually, a very early recall by Energy. Looks like they're going to have Quas match up with KFO. He's able to recall and pick up boots of speed. So Quas will have a small item lead over KFO. Will be temporarily down in XP, though.
Yeah, okay, so the main takeaway there is that Energy are not opting into continuing onto the second tower trade. They don't want to leave Echo Fox with that nice take there from Kiwikid. Does get the big Raptor and cashes in.
Bad smite from Hard, so unlucky for him.
Feels bad for him, but does feel good for Frog, and he should be able to go back and get the blue buff. Should hand it off honestly, Malzahar doesn't have mana problems early on, so he might just... Oh, yeah. Wow, that's not even... I guess he's just taking it now. Oh, man.
Did they reset on him?
No. He leashed it. Like, he started it so early that he's just making a round there. That is some extra wasted time for the jungler.
30 seconds or more of that, too.
Oh,
and then
man.
3 autos from Froggen, man. I mean, Italy's already a faster jungler. Hard, like, lost a full camp.
Sabotage, my lord. An enemy power sent a hero to disrupt the running of your domain. This act of aggression cannot be left unanswered.
Or the big Raptor steal, I mean.
Blue buff handoff.
Blue buff handoff, plus the opening to the game where you had to walk back to the extra camp rather than just doing a single path there. We'll see if it ends up being a problem because you're taking even more harass clearing out the wards now.
But he does kill Quas's trinket ward, who actually placed it. Now there's no vision for this Naren. Someone who wants to actually bully the top lane matchup against KFO. It's now a spot they can get ganked. Speaking of ganks, this mid lane. Again, has to try to run. He pops the Snowman. Gets away from the Javelin as well, but that is no sums for Froggen. Chased out of his lane.
And people have not been shy about trying to camp Froggen. So no summoners available for him. Definitely going to be a lot more work needed from everyone else to help out with the vision. Hearts is going to need to get a pink ward as well to help him out so that he doesn't get repeat ganks because that is going to be very dangerous. Zig is deceptively good at setting up ganks, especially good Zig players who can use the satchel charge well. As long as one of those bombs comes through and they knock off the passive first, which should be coming fairly frequently from Ziggs as you go for harass a lot in wave, it's actually pretty scary. Like not that passive.
Froggen, who's missing his summoners, but now has his ultimate. So if he himself gets a gank, he's got the setup for it. But we'll see if anything good happens. Hard hits level 5, taking the Raptors.
Yeah,
it's a recall, and we have a basically tied game here. We have matched up lanes. The gold is close to identical. KFO has a very big lead over Quas specifically. Part of that being that he got to sit in that lane for a while and get extra farm here, but Keith is actually down quite a bit under OQ. And part of that is him holding a freeze, though, trying to hurt energy in this late stage of the lane swap as they match up in the 2-on-2.
Yeah, actually, Echo Fox right now getting away with some greedy play where they freeze both side lanes, top and bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, there is vision on the bottom for energy, but they haven't committed the people there necessary to try and mess with Big and Keith. And they're actually decided that, okay, our freeze has been held long enough. Need to push it out now. Santorin on the way down as well. This is the area where the dragon really does start to become an option.
Yeah.
If they are able to shove all the way in there, or if they do have that much control. Meanwhile, though, the top lane here where Quas level 5, justing level 5 to KFO 6. Gangplank does have ultimate ready for this gank.
Hard did not get spotted, and there was no turret for Quas to run behind. Let's see if he can get away. Gets
Alright, lads, here's the plan.
Hard gonna sneak in, finds the knockup. There's flash away from Quas, and nothing else gained here. Now Keith has to run, taking auto attacks. The root's gonna come in, flash away from Cubic Kid, does not get rooted, but now it's time for the curtain call, and Big's gonna tank the shots. Running out of health, though, he will die to one more snipe, so Keith tanks it for him. Nice team right there by the Echo Fox duo lane to get away from that first gank, but it is 3 summoners down by the Echo Fox duo.
Both junglers ganking the lanes that do not have the turrets behind them, the long lanes, and both of them getting summoners, but no kills for either team. Now you do have to remember, KFO didn't use his ultimate though. Gangplank Global is still available to turn something like that around, as both junglers, after their ganks, do go ahead and take off the weak side jungle quadrants for themselves. But OQ!
In onto OQ, where's the cannon barrage? He's flashed. KFO, someone tell him he has to do something.
I mean, that is aggressive move, considering they don't have much vision, and OQ does burn his flash. So summoners, a lot of flashes down for energy, and there are opportunities for Echo Fox to actually attack now on both sides of the map. It's really up to Santorin's choosing. Does have that almost full level lead over Hard, and about 300 goals over him on Italy, which is pretty standard.
Yeah, he's going kind of par for the course here. Hard, I don't know if you mentioned it, but he is going for the Tiamat build here. I know you wanted to see him go full tank, but that is not the choice here that the Rek'Sai is making.
Yeah.
I hope to deal damage. But again, I think you're right, though. You've already got 3 good carries in the team. I agree that like having a tank would just be nice.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those situations where everybody really tunnels in on the one build that's super common now. Yeah, you rush your team at super fast, you do increase your clear speed, but as we saw Jhin ultimate being used down bottom, especially on someone low health like Big and Keith were both taking big chunks. If there's no one else to block it, and Hard is sitting on a Tiamat, then definitely a lot of options, but no big moves yet. Still very close in this game. Could easily swing either way.
Right, you mentioned the jungler's kind of par for the course as far as gold difference. We'd seen a second ago Santorin was able to take away that bottom side red buff from the mid lane. So Hard is able to match that as well. He got that northern red buff himself, so he's actually able to trade buffs equally. And here's the gank coming in on a GBM. Suppression and knock him into silence. He actually can't cast any spells. The perfect layering of crowd control by Echo Fox, and they get first blood.
First blood on Froggen, the one we were looking at to parry Echo Fox, and he's got to feel very happy about that one. Able to survive during the double summoners being down. Now they get a mid lane kill, which allows them so much control. Transition right down into Dragon, and that is exactly what Echo Fox wanted to start off this series.
So many good things happening. Even a 10-minute ocean break, not bad at all. Really good start. This is perfectly played.
So you can drop he drops his satchel charge in between here, but he's not able to reactivate it because that silence you're talking about comes back in and lasts until death. So he wasn't able to reactivate it or get the flash out.
Yeah.
If you're in that case, you just got to spam your flash, because if you have that one,
if you're able to cast satchel charge, you could have cast a flash.
Yeah, your millisecond opening. Satchel Charge is really greedy to try and get off and try and save that summoner spell, but
cast animation has to animate, has to land, then you have to reactivate.
Exactly. So GBM wanted to save his flash there and just spamming Satchel Charge instead, but does get punished for it and gives up the first blood. That's going to be completed Morello Namicon plus the extra wards we were talking about for more vision around mid lane. That has been very important for Echo Fox. You can see as Santorin kills this ward on the bottom side, they also had 2 on top side of mid lane. That's where the focus is very clearly from Echo Fox. And now Froggen will just have to hug that top side a little bit as he gets his next blue.
Looks like that one went a lot faster. Hard lost much less time on this one. Feeling a bit better. He actually hasn't gone back to base in a while, though. He's still on that same Hunter's Machete and Tiamat, and still 1 charge of his refillable potion.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
he's just not running out of resources.
Honestly, though, I mean, Nidalee and Rek'Sai are 2 of the best of staying out there for a really long time. And if you're not planning on completing something that actually increases your clear speed, then there's no real need to go back early anyway. Having that early Tiamat, as we said, the pros of it increases your clear speed tremendously.
Yeah.
And you do build into the Tiamat, so you're a little bit of a damage threat later on. You just aren't so strong that you get to be that point man super early on for your team, and you're going to soak up all of the offensive abilities, the Nidalee spears, the Jhin bullets. Nope, they're just going to have to dodge them instead. There is the second option.
That is. So
dodge them all.
At least to his credit, Hard is going towards Cinderhulk now. He's not finishing the Titanic Hydra, so going for the standard blue smite and whatnot. And I'm actually curious, like, because I don't play Rek'Sai much myself, but at a certain point, the gold income you get from going Tiamat can eventually pay for the tank stats.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it is going to be super farm heavy like this, as we're seeing, and he doesn't want to fall behind the Nidalee, so working out decently.
Actually, Echo Fox doing a really good job in the objective game, actually. They've been winning their lanes, pretty much all of them for the most part, and they got the first ocean break. Now they're going to get the Brim Turtle as well, give it on a KSO. Echo Fox have been split pushing with this guy the entire pro tournament, basically, and now he's set up to be very successful against Walks.
Very, very strong on Gangplank. Let's see what they're able to do with it, though, because Echo Fox, so far this tournament, they actually have very good Dragon control stats. They've had a lot of the Drakes, a lot of good neutral objective control. It's just about Ben transitioning through to the mid-game and really being able to convert. The first team fight, really looking forward to the setup for this one. And that's why I keep checking in on the vision that both teams are laying down.
Right.
A lot of Echo Foxes, as we say, is centered around this mid lane. The Jhin is also an option, breaking the Froggen passive, you know, and trying to start up something here in long range, trying to pick somebody off. Use the Jhin ultimates just for slows. But so far, no pick attempts.
nothing just yet. OQ has his ulti up. Maybe we'll see something come through. KFO actually starting to get pushed around by Quas, who's managed to amass a decent bit of defensive stats now. The Giant Spell, nice parlay, plus 18 gold. He's going to wait for another parlay. Good job, KFO. But yeah, Giant Spell plus Ninja Tabby. Quas is able to withstand a lot of KFO damage. I can start pushing him into the turret much more heavily. Hard has to give away control. Gets away from the Javelin. Nicely done to him. Both goals start to finish stacking up in the next 10 seconds. Keep now. He's at 2 stacks. OQ only at 5 once he gets back to the bot lane. And Yomu's Ghostblade basically available for both these AD carries. Keith has his already. OQ pretty much has it waiting in base once he finishes coal stacking. Normal Sight Stones, normal Smite Stones, and Torrents are Triforce now does for game. Definitely nice. The armor bend on that Triforce. Probably towards Death Capper, Luden's Echo, I suppose. He's trying to stack up his tier to go into Seraph. So a very high ability power. I actually really do like this with Ziggs. The mid-season change to mage itemization, where now Orelanamakon gives max mana. It makes Seraph's Embrace even better. Now you have even more ability power on this item. And it gives you a really sort of obvious path to the high raw AP build, which is Ziggs.
Definitely agree. Both of them starting out with the Orelanamakon Froggen, though. We're going to transition probably into Rylai's or something.
Oh, yeah, right.
Then you'll see the Large Rod. But yeah, as you say, both of these AD carries are early spiking AD carries. So there definitely is the possibility that this Infernal Drake, because it is Infernal, is going to spawn that action. And Energy have been keeping up their wars around the Dragon Pit. They have most of the vision there. So even though there's time for Echo Fox to try and get over there and get some down, it's dangerous for them to make that, base check happen. And Froggen actually is the target early.
Getting hit up, goes to the silence, ult back into GBM, and they get the combo out, and he's gonna burn down to the Ignite. Kiwikin trains it back, but Santorin has to run away through a bit of cannon barrage damage. KFO running from Quas, but that was good enough though. Gets the help on the kill. A 1-for-1 mid laner's down.
Santorin actually flashed to try and go secure the kill. Did go down to the Ignite from Kiwi Kid though in the end, and 1-for-1 traded. Good presence of mind there by Froggen to turn around and trade kills rather than just continue running through the Ziggs ultimate and dying for nothing. Very, very touch and go here. Infernal Drake is up, and if he had not traded kills there, then that would have been a lot of loss of control. Let's take another look at though. Here we go. They pop the passive first. Kiwi Kid comes in for the gank on Karma. And Froggen has 2 choices at this point. He's like, there's no getting out, so I just got to turn around and ult. And Kiwi Kid's Ignite does take him down as he's running away.
Yeah.
Let's return though. Pink wards were dropped here. A lot of ward battles to go on before this Drake actually goes down.
And this team is doing the best to rehearse their fundamentals here. Make sure they got the vision control. Going in on an OQ, a great culling, decent damage on a half HP, and he's trying to run away. The turret is there to keep him alive, but the root hits Keith almost in turret range. He's going to juke back, KFO to tank up the hits. Yeah, and that's going to be a quick cancel on the ulti. OQ wants that cooldown back a little bit sooner. Fox has a bit of control of the bot lane, with that river being held by GBM. Hard is in a way surrounded, though I don't think he's going to be attacked here. Fox pushes in mid lane a little bit. That's into the turret. KFO takes the javelin and doesn't quite hit the barrel chain.
Pretty close stuff there. OQ not burning his flash though. Under fire takes a lot of damage from that trade, but doesn't lose the summoner, which is going to be extremely important for this next team fight, as he's going to be the heavy target. As Jin really sucks to have those team fights, and Game decides to ult you, and KFO will. Here we go though. Drake will be started up. No Jin ultimate available for this one. GBM does have Ziggs ulti. It's always a possibility if they can get some vision.
And Frog and KFO both have theirs. Looks like it's going to be no contest. This is an Infernal Drake now. 2 Drakes in a row to Echo Fox, and mathematically one of the better Infernal Drakes in this game. The combo on a GBM, and look at the damage they have. It's not quite enough, though, to kill him off.
Santorin's there with the heal on Nidalee, barely enough to keep him alive, and then the long-range wave clear. But man, what a close call there for GBM. Burns both summoners, takes both ultimates from Echo Fox, though. And it's just been energy getting chunked out over and over again. Echo Fox do have momentum in this game.
Yeah.
We talked about their strong Drake control, and it continues so far in this series. Now Hard moving in for the blue steal as well. Can Santorin land the spear?
He's gonna look for it. Good smite by Hard. No blue buff transfer, but at least it goes away from energy. And just to talk about the mid lane fight as well, 50 health is all that separated Echo Fox from getting a kill and the mid turret. GBM, because he lived, was able to wave clear those 6 minions in the mid lane left over. All that very, very important. Froggen, you saw a nice mechanic there. He managed to summon his Voidling over the wall onto the blue buff so that he could have that tank, not have it leash. It saves him some time. And you're playing Malzahar at home, make sure you hit W over the wall.
I mean,
you can do it.
Where else would you summon your Voidling?
In case you didn't know you could summon it over the wall. There must be someone watching who didn't know you could. I didn't know you could do that. I've only played Jungle Malz like once, and if you're jungling Malz, you can just walk.
Oh, Camo gonna flash away, and he's still gonna get chased down. Quas is turning Mega.
Getting slowed, gets rooted up, hit into the wall. Nice Mega Gnar, and that's gonna be enough for him. Even though KFO burned his flash, the chase stun was there. 2-2 in kills. Nice pickup for energy.
Yeah, Santorin moves top. They really did need that to get some control back in this game. Hard trying to clear out pink wards around mid, though. All right, that is going to be the what they want to rely on. I guess the kill goes over to Quas, and that's going to be their main tank, main initiator. He has the possibility, since he has flash up, trying to take over a team fight for them.
I think there is some merit in getting Quas ahead. You think about how Echo Fox wants to win the game. It's like Froggen can try to pick up GBM, but GBM can wave through everything, so it's split push. If Quas wins the one-on-one,
That's right.
Yeah, it's so hard to split push against Gangplank like that, though, because Gangplank can always farm out his turret and has such great wave clear later in the game.
For sure.
With barrels. Ooh.
Actually gonna land almost all 4 big tanks, one for the team. Nicely done there. Hard, by the way, is going to Titanic, actually. The longsword in his inventory going to go towards Jarum's face. So it is
Commandments may be issued over territory you rule, my lord.
Big is the tank, and by the way,
Make the effort to rouse the populace so that they may better serve
of the
your
Echo Fox
ends.
inventory here. Maybe that matters quite a bit as OQ and Quas continue to get more powerful. We will see. Quas himself building full tank into that frozen mallet.
Yeah. So the main thing to keep in mind would be when the situation does arise like this, where almost no armor, very little armor on the enemy team versus these flat penetration Jhin builds, is when you go for skirmishes like this, where we've seen teams get pretty close in the skirmishes and then everybody, trying to flash out and disengage, you really have to keep in mind that the enemy team does have that long-range assassination.
Your conquests strike fear into the hearts of your enemies, mighty lord. The wisest amongst them will know that fate is on your side. I have foreseen it.
Yeah, because if you take it, you better kill somebody.
Or OQ is going to make you real sad about this.
Or it's hard to get out.
Well, fortunate mid push right there by Echo Fox. Regan had just gone back to pick up his Archangel staff, and with the vacancy, Echo Fox were able to knock down the mid-outer turret, and look at that, it's actually 3-1 now in turret score, 2-0 in Drakes as well. There are some decent matchups still here for energy, but Echo Fox actually winning right now. This is game phase of game 1 right now.
And we talk about early spiking 80 carries. Actually, Keith right now is more scary than OQ, having the Black Cleaver completed on top of his blade. Huge power spike for Lucian. If he can stay up in the team fight, navigate around these. Trundle Pillar, use it to his advantage. The zoning of the Gangplank ultimates and barrels, use that to his advantage. Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
He is, but now Echo Fox has to play this one right because the snipe's coming through. OQ actually only lands 2 of the bullets, and it's not enough to matter.
Said just dodge them. That's the other option.
Yeah, and
Don't
they did.
Take them, dodge them.
Half them. That's a really big deal.
How can we
fleece? All the missing
I
mean, on it.
help you.
So really fortunate for Echo Fox to get away from some of these bullets. And you look at the lineup really, and it's a lot of physical damage on Echo Fox. You've got Hard, KFO, and Keith all built to carry. The Black Cleaver of Keith should help make sure that the damage sticks on the tank of Quas.
Plus Gangplank's armor penetration. I actually really like this damage spread from Echo Fox. They're in a very good position right now with their Drake stacking up, their gold lead increasing a little bit as well. Next Drake spawning means that it's very easy to try and force some conflict here. If they do have control right now, if they just put down some vision and wait for energy. It's been actually both teams being a little bit cautious in this game number 1 of a series that's so important for both teams. Yeah. staying in the LCS.
Right.
Both of them have been a little bit cautious, not wanting to make a huge mistake that throws the game away really early on, but it's been slow advantages over and over for Echo Fox. These little advantages are adding up very quickly for them into the mid-game, and Drake number 3 should be their control. Let's see if Energy try and pull off some snipes. They try and poke them down around the Drake and make their stand here, or if they continue to give over these small advantages.
We'll see the fight over the blue buff. Froggen wants to steal. And actually nicely done. Hard gets the smite. Big's pillar, Froggen's Q, both providing some vision, and comes through and denies another for GBM. So I don't believe the Ziggs has gotten a blue buff in a very long time. Now KFO thinks he can beat Quas in the one-on-one. Pops the Hex Drinker actually, and out goes Gnar. Barrels up for the combo, and a lot of farm for KFO. Starting to really win this matchup. Up 50 almost.
I mean, yeah, that's a very good sign for Echo Fox. They steal the blue, they have control on bottom side, then their 1 versus 1 advantage goes over to KFO, and that secures them the dragon right there. You win 2 skirmishes, even though you don't get any kills. Yep, there you go. There's another of your objectives, another of your small advantages, and Echo Fox continue to stack.
Well, speaking of this though, it's KFO having to run away from Quas, landing the slow. Chicks a barrel chain, runs, GBM kind of nearby, but he almost gets him out. Max CDR armor pin build for KFO. So what I was talking about is, you talk about winning 2 skirmishes means the objective, as they're still fighting full weight again. Jabber's going to miss, a lot of damage on GBM. Titanic Hydra done. Hard, has to be careful, does not get rooted though. Here comes the curtain call. It's Keith, it's Hard, and now Big says, I'll take one as well.
Perfect. Exactly how you want to do it. Have the trade-off because of that missing health you talked about. And no problem for Fox, yeah. We thought this was going to be an issue. We spent so long talking it up.
Yep.
Not a problem.
So far not. So far not a problem at all. Duskblade second going to be there for OQ. He's not far from getting it. That'll be fun when it does come out. He's getting lifesteal, no surprise evolution build as well. Okay, so the thought is that pro players are usually pretty good at understanding when they're going to die. And so if you do enough to say, hey, you died, you fight me, they back off with the pound. And that's usually great. You have fights that don't turn into kills. And usually if it would be a kill, so leave. And that's the kind of fights you have. There's actually it's like a cartoon or a comic or something where like, I don't know what it's basically he like plays the fight out in his mind. It's like two kung fu masters. They play the fight out in their mind and say, oh, okay, you would win the fight, but actually the way it goes is different anyway. Someone's gonna know what movie I'm talking about, and they're gonna correct me.
Well, that's good because I'm not.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. Yep. 2 kung fu masters play the fight out in their mind, and they actually fight in real life.
That's 6.
Yep. I'll let you know when it goes up my Twitter feed.
I'm special.
4,000 gold lead almost for Echo Fox up right now, though. They have played the slow and control game. Second Mountain Drake going to spawn in 4 minutes or so, and they've really not given up any advantages. Maybe this is the first one. One snipe towards Froggen, and then Hard is there to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, they got 1 snipe on the passive, and then all the others dodged or out of range. So Energy now, without that large cooldown, the Jhin ultimate is going to be one of the big things they're missing here. As they still go aggressive, Quas really wants to use this transformation on Gnar, but Keith is heading down from the top lane. So this small area where Energy had that numbers advantage at 5 vs 4, you know, why they wanted to make that engage is going away quickly.
Uh-oh, it's Fox in the back lane, gets suppressed, the damage onto the tank, but he's the only tank. He's so durable, it takes a long time to die, but they do pick him off. The trade kill not gonna happen. Hard slinks away barely. It's a 5v4 for Echo Fox, cooling on towards Santora, but can't pick him off. Italy self-heals. The escape comes through for Energy. Lots of low health bars on all sides, but 1 for 0 to Echo Fox.
Echo Fox kill off the main tank, and they have 2 minion waves pushing. Let's see where they want to press it. Top lane's an option as well, but Froggen is camping on that pink ward, waiting for a face checker.
So open it happens, but it looks like there's not going to be anyone to get killed. Kiwi Kid. He's looking around. He's going to cue the brush. Not just yet. Echo Fox still hoping this happens. Santorin puts the trap down. That was good enough. When you place Bushwhack, it does give vision of the area. Santorin playing it right. Good job by Energy to suspect that kind of play.
All right, so Echo Fox don't push into the lanes, and GBM will go get a lot of that money. That's good news for Energy because they are hurting right now, and they need extra cash. You know, getting GBM also to level 16 is huge. The extra damage on that ultimate is can make a big team fight. We talk about the possibilities here for Energy where they turn it around, with Wasp, a big flash Gnar ultimate or something actually stunning the team. You layer that with a GBM, oh, that's a possibility. Here we go, though. Quash jumps in, immediately gets ulted by Froggen. Shreds right through the tank.
Where's my madness?
And hard on the rest side survives due
die.
to the heal of Keith being popped there to get him out just barely. And that led to the 1-4-0.
One thing I like doing as well is sort of pointing out when the Drake attacks, of course, the extra ability power and attack damage that the Inferno Drake gave Echo Fox helped make sure that Quas died before anything happened. On their side, a lot of Echo Fox were able to stay out on the map for a while because of the Ocean Drake regen. Allowed them to look for that earlier jump.
told me to listen to
getting a lot of damage on him. He's popped, ready for Mega Gnar. The assassination not going to be enough, and now Hard is left alone. He's in a 1v4. That's going to be 2 kills picked up. Well done by Energy to find that opening. And the first actual map control lead of the match for the red side.
All right, they're able to get some picks and stabilize a little bit on map control, but look at all the vision. They might just have to use this time to clear out all the vision that Echo Fox have set up around Baron. There's still a lot of lingering wards for them. Froggen and Hard down for 25 more seconds, though.
All right, it's going to be the attempt. Of course, KFO has Cannon Barrage as well as his own teleport. They're going to walk towards his Baron pit, though.
There's no Rek'Sai tunnels on the top side by Baron, so it would actually be a long time before he could join.
Here comes the attempt. Cannon Barrage down. Lots of damage. GBM going to try to run away. Going to get sniped down. And this could be a catastrophe for Energy. 2,000 health left on Baron. They're going to try to pick up OQ. Santorin wants it. Can he get the Baron? He can. But this could be a slaughter. It's several kills picked up. Looks like overall 4-1 in that fight. I don't know if that was worth the Baron. I think not.
Quadra kill over to Keith in exchange for the Baron. My goodness, they all kind of panic. Go to the back. Everyone gets hit with back spikes. Now Echo Fox are pushing up mid as well. They might be able to go take this Mountain Drake and get 4 Drakes in exchange.
I think there's no chance you can test it. You might get this turret first, but there's no minion wave to go for. You can reinforce on this one. The question is, will Echo Fox do that? And instead they say, we'll not take the free turret. We'll instead take the free Drake. We'll get the turret later on.
We mentioned this so often. When the
How
team
can we
behind gets
fleece
a comeback play
I
like that,
mean-
you get really good picks. Timeout on the jungler and the mid laner, but then try and make too much of your comeback play. Sometimes you need multiple steps in order to come back in the game. And Energy pushed a little bit too far there. Maybe if they had immediately gone over to the Baron and started it, but they did clear out a bunch of wards, pushed up a minion wave first, and then rotated over to Baron. By that time, here's what happens. 3-man move in. Keith is just free firing. Nobody's trying to stop him. Quas goes out there but gets exhausted immediately, so he doesn't even have a chance. They make the call to finish off the Baron, and luckily for Energy, Santorin did finish it off and get the smite and escape. But still, even with that occurring, Echo Fox, very big lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. Baron itself worth 1,500 gold, and when you go +3 in kills in a team fight, that's also 1,500 gold. Quick wave clear out of GBM. Wasp maybe shouldn't have jumped forward, gets pillared back, but he's okay. Keith nearly got Javelin, though. That could have been a kill out from Santorin if that happened. Quick barrel chain and KFO runs out. Echo Fox, still with the same lead they kind of had before. Yeah, they were able to bounce back from the earlier rough fight in the Baron attempt that kind of backfired. Echo Fox, yeah, this 3,000 gold. They're stacking Drakes. That's been their real actual advantage.
Definitely a very real advantage. Elder Dragon will be the next one coming up. Another very big point for them to fight over. Energy right now, though, as you said, Santorin was the one who got out. He's the only one wearing that Baron's buff, but they're going to be able to use it to try and push in, take some gold back for themselves.
Looks like, bam, that's going to be mid outer turret going down. Energy getting the game closer, but Keith was able to answer. Echo Fox has been able to put the split push game quite well. It's a 1-3-1.
Yep.
KFO shut the top lane. Keith still shoving the bot lane. No one is recalling it to answer. As long as Keith gets away from this Energy move, and he will, that's his free advantages. Minions sacrifice themselves for the turret. So he can recalling on a mid, and this could actually be mid tier 2 could go down if GBM can't wave.
They're definitely grouping up to try and pressure it. at least deny minions with the other two side lanes pushing. Bottom lane does hit the turret. Some damage here on the mid lane.
Now they'll see.
Less than half.
They get a bit, but there's a little bit of a risk here. Hard's running away down to half health. The snipes from OQ. Not doing enough, and nice by KFO to walk in, tank it, and then pop himself with the oranges.
All right, that's actually very good for Xbox. He just stabilized here in mid lane. Continue the pressure. Bottom is still pushing.
Oh, they got the catch from the GBM, the flash ult from Froggen, and now the wave clear is gone. This could be all Xbox needs to actually push through. Of course, double Mountain Drake plus Ocean means plenty of siege power available to the blue team.
All right,
real quick spot.
They should definitely be able to move in onto this turret. Energy still rotating over from that mid lane. Keith has a lot of damage with him right now, too.
Snipe's gonna hit hard, turret's gone. Quas pillared off to the side, doesn't get to hop in, and he's
itself
been
to
out
a
for a
pulp.
while anyway. And it's a 5v4 for 30 more seconds. There is gonna be no GBM. This entire midway, this entire push, barrel chain doesn't get too much done. Hard down to half, Quas on the side, still pushed around a bit, but Keith actually getting chunked dangerously low. KFO running away, gonna get taken down by Santorin, and Echo Fox gonna lose one. A great defense by Energy, winning the 4v5, getting a kill, getting out.
Yeah, they keep their inhibitor alive for the next spawn here. Let's see if Echo Fox are able to get anything else. Just clear out the jungle. Trying to have another death rush here. They've been pretty active with setting up those death rush.
Yeah. Well, their actual engage tools aren't great, right? Their only semi-tank is a Titanic Hydra Rek'Sai who doesn't make the flashiest plays. Frog was able to get a flash ulti. That was nice. Yeah, Vega's tanky enough. He's actually been able to play a slow game long enough, and with 6 turrets taken, he's got the gold income to be reasonable here.
Yeah. I mean, big difference right now. Like, Keith is massive with these extra kills. The reason they have to back off here is because he got chunked out. Now Keith is basically dead. For the purposes of that fight, Keith was killed by that spear because he had to get out of there. He only had 100 life left. And give up the life for KFO. They did take down at least the Guardian Angel from Quas, so maybe if they have another fight quickly here, that will matter. There is an exposed inhibitor for them to return to, but Baron and Elder Dragon coming up next. So the next fight, if you overextend on trying to kill that inhibitor, big comeback potential with so much power out on the map and objective. You could make the last stand inside their face. They could turn around that team fight and then take a lot back from you.
See, yeah, we are getting later on into the game, 36.5 minutes. We've got some pretty sizable death timers, and if the gold's close enough, you know either team could win a fight. Quick blue buff once again over to Froggen. Baron and Elder Dragon, both a minute away. Some teams like to trade them back and forth and play with the better ones. Some try to have both, use one to take the other. We'll see what it actually ends up being. Energy having to play defense, though.
In this situation, I really like just starting up the Baron. I like concentrating all your efforts on Baron first and Elder Dragon second. For Echo Fox is because the Elder Dragon on Energy isn't that big of a buff for Energy.
Yeah, you can give it away.
Yeah, exactly. While Energy really want to deny it from Echo Fox due to all the extra drakes they have, it doesn't help them all that much if they trade it for Baron. And Baron really helps you push in and actually crack the inhibitors and finish out the game. So I feel like in these situations where both of them are up, I really put a lot more value on the actual Baron. Plus, it's a bit easier to take, and you don't risk as much, controlling vision over there and baiting that over and over. Regardless, though, towers are first. The objectives aren't up quite yet. Baron just spawns now. KFO takes out the...
this could kill him! Yeah, if that hit him, he was dead and managed to eat the orange. Saved Flash, he was confident enough in his juking to not burn. Yeah.
Right there, Ghostblade earned some extra flash cooldown, able to save it. And they got the turret first. Yeah. There it is. Focus that sucker down. They don't even have KFO out on the map. He can teleport, but...
Don't even need it. Double Mountain Drake. Fast Baron take. They knew both Mega Inferno Bomb and Hurt Call were down. The Energy now on the map. Instead of the run, they've got map control. And that's one thing that Xbox has done well is basically the 3 minutes leading up to that point were all in preparation for Baron to make sure that the vision was there.
The enemy approached on monks.
Coming, and that was accurate. So, Baron buff worn by Echo Fox. The question is, do we look at Elder Dragon, do we look at turrets? Right now, the mid lane is the priority. Bot inhib has no turret, mid inhib does.
Oh, they have positioning on mid too. You give extra speed to your minions with the Baron buff, and they can run those minions right up into the mid turret.
All right, they've got priority on it. Here we go. Damage on that turret. Quas gets hit up by KFO. Decent damage, but that's still a low health Nard. Last attack comes through. Keith needs somebody to tank for him as he tries to reach his health back up. Stay tanky, stay tanky. KFO has to flash out. He's got to be careful here. Pops the barrel, only for move speed though. Hard just going to take away some jungle camps. KFO will slip away with his life, but even with Baron, with the Goldie, with the extra Drakes, Megafox only got a turret for that whole thing. Energy honestly playing very good defense. Megafox really getting boned out.
I mean, Energy hold on for a little bit more, but they can't get anything else up. Now there's 2 exposed inhibitors.
Yeah.
And Echo Fox will come and knock in once again. The Elder Dragon could try and draw them out. I don't know if Energy actually want to go outside their base, though. It's very risky to go out there and run through the jungle. They don't have any vision. I say you just seed it, actually.
I think they might have to. Echo Fox with the turret kills up 10,000 gold. They all recalled. They all bought. So that 10k gold is actually in items in the inventory. They've still got more than a minute and a half left on Baron. And they can now take a double Mountain Drake Infernal Dragon. This seems to be a very likely take. You see they kill it very quickly thanks to the double Mountain and the Baron buff. That's going to go down. And now it's basically a 2-minute huge power play. We've got a 4-stack Elder Dragon and a Baron buff. Echo Fox should be able to use this to win the game.
Echo Fox have played this game in a very calm manner, considering how much is on the line for them. Game number 1 opening, actually very strong. I mean, Froggen with the plays in mid lane to get first blood for the team, but other than that, it was mostly just small advantages, earning a little bit of control on the map, you know, some priority in lanes and transitioning over to the Drakes. Consistent work there to control the Drakes, and it's all manifested in this Elder Dragon. 2 exposed inhibitors, minions on that bottom line inhibitor while they're all grouped up mid as well.
Look at the spam coming out of GBM. No one's able to really threaten him, and he's been able to get a little bit of poke down on a big, and Keith and Echo Fox were not able to get in on the inhibitor. They run down to the bot side, hoping to get priority here. A couple of minions pushed in. Here comes Curtain Call. Here comes the fight. And Echo Fox are unwilling to do battle with a 5-stack Elder Dragon and a Baron buff and a 10,000 gold.
Well, they waited out the Jin ultimate. Now they can move in for free and take this. And oh, Kiwi Kid gets jumped.
Oh, huge barrel chain. That's going to be the pull-up for Keith. Echo Fox finally get the opening. That's bottom inhibitor down. Mid inhibitor to follow as well. And looks like the patience finally does pay off for Echo Fox. It's an almost impossible defense now for Energy Esports. Next turret number 1 is down. Next turret number 2 under fire. And there just is not any stopping. Here comes Santorin trying to save the day. He pops out with his Zoyas. There goes the Nexus. And game 1 goes to Echo Fox. Hard-fought road. One they were able to travel down so far. 1/3 of the way there now is Echo Fox. The Energy are 0 and 4 in the post.
Energy do need to turn up the pace because they were giving away, you know, yes, 1 kill, yes, making wave here, yes, making wave there, yes, damage on the turret, and they never came back. Oh, they made some attempts with the ultimate and got a couple picks, but with the 1 hit, that turned into
Your commander has been killed in action, my lord. Word is already spread amongst your troops. They will surely lose heart.
much off that game forever.
Yeah, and when Echo Fox's primary weakness has been a lack of control, playing a bit too slow on the lane, when things have happened, the fact that Energy still works in Echo Fox. Bounce back here with this one, but Echo Fox closed out game 1. Looks like half that win. Let's send it back to Rivers.
Thank you very much, Freak. And a lot of people were wondering what Fox had to say. Pretty good statement coming out in game 1. And we see this, we see, you know, 10k gold needed, and like Cody said at the end, very methodical, very slow pace of play. And we haven't really seen that. A lot of the players in both these teams.
Yeah, and honestly, this is something I was talking to Dan about the other day. Xbox has always kind of struggled in these one-on-one situations and the kind of scaling to the bush. Even though it seems like they draft for it a lot, you know, Gangplank on one side, sounds well, more fast than they do it a lot. But they always end up getting caught on one side, get engaged on the other side. This time they actually were able to pull it off really well, and I think a lot of that started.
They played it really well, getting KFO fed up, getting scale. Both teams wanted to scale in this one. And where we want to start off in our replays is in the mid lane. Something we see in a lot of games across the board. You get mid lane summoners blown, and then we don't see them. Yeah, we don't see them back here. And this did that right away on Frog.
Exactly. And this was a great little early game here, right? St. Torn walk in, they get flash, they get ghost, and you know they never return to the scene of crime. You need to capitalize on that or get nothing from it. And it's actually GBM is the one who gets first blood, and even though they force both those summoners on Froggen, they get nothing from it. They're playing too passively, and GBM pays the price. You know, it gets Froggen rolling in the start of the game, and GBM, the Ziggs pick never panned out. I think it was an idea where it's like, okay, we draft this comp, we have Nidalee, we have Jhin, we have Ziggs, we have Karn for shields, and we have this big tank in the front, right? We engage with Nidalee spears and Jhin ulti, and then Ziggs throws his ultimate out there and follows it up, and then they're all getting poked down, and then Gnar runs in, and that's kind of like the idea here, spread up by the Karma shields, and Nidalee's healing people up for your code, right? So that's the idea, but it never really came to fruition. And a lot of that, I think, was like Echo Fox had a Gangplank was a very good matchup in Gnar. Yes, you can kind of get harassed early game, but because Gangplank can farm very safely, you can farm with you can use barrels, you can get 5 force, you're essentially going out of the back line anyway. There's very little danger, you're scaling well, and you hit on this was the Trundle pick ended up being so successful, especially because, you know, Quas was kind of that solo tank. He had a lot of
Ollie builds.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, there was no tank support, there was no tank jungler, so he had to go all in on tank builds, which just kind of doubles down on the fact that Trundle is stealing all these stats from you, and you're just making Trundle massive. So it feels bad, but when you draft no other tank, he couldn't really afford to go that kind of split push build. Either way, you know, I think things worked out pretty well with that for Echo Fox.
And we saw a lot of times that Echo Fox kind of had energy on the run. It was the global Gangplank. It was that Rek'Sai global, being able to tunnel anywhere and cause kind of an intense moment just with the Void Rush global sound. And then we saw Energy kind of fight back. 29 minutes in, they said, if we can see the majority of the players on the Rift, we're going to go for them. And they tried to bite off quite a bit here and then lost quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they get the first couple kills and it's looking like, hey, this is going to be huge for them. Not only do you kill the mid laner, you kill the jungler and Baron is up. And then they go to the Baron, which is the correct play, but they never actually turn to fight. Look at them sitting here. Gangplank ulti is in there. Keith is just walking up into the team in melee range, you know, just shooting them all. He dashes forward into the team. They're trying to finish it, and sure, Santorin smites away the Baron, but you gave over a quadra kill eventually here to Keith, and this is what made Keith massive. It's just like, they know you're supposed to go to this place on the map. They know you're supposed to go to Baron, but they failed to kind of understand what it was they should have done once they got there. And I mean, ignoring Gangplank, who's going to be able to throw barrels in, has AoE ulti, you know, a pretty strong Lucian at this point. So this was like a really good start to something, and had energy to peel off, kill those 3 guys, take the Baron. This game can be massively different, right? This can be a game that they win. Instead, Keith gets fed. They get the Baron, but everyone dies, and it turns into a tragedy.
Is this the risk versus reward, which I think we haven't seen a lot from these teams being chose in good decision, where you'd go for a big risk, such as Energy did, and Echo Fox knew that risk was a quadra kill, possibly also with the bag of chips that could have been Baron, and when you're in that position where your risk, the reward is bigger than the risk is always going to be, Echo Fox can be up 10K, make those plays, and come out stronger. Choosing blue side as well coming into the next game, I think gives Echo Fox a little bit of a handle on the picks bans once again. A lot of the talk is, do we focus Froggen, but now do you focus KFO? How do you ban out both of them?
Yeah, it's tough, and GP was something that was banned a lot against KFO, I believe, against TLA the other day.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
You know, if you let that through, you have to be worried about it. Sivir, while it's pretty high priority, and you know, in Xerath and stuff, obviously, like, was getting banned out. You know, there are some different bans and stuff that are happening, and there's a lot of focus, obviously, on Froggen. You know, like the double ban on Froggen. You know, but do you need the Soraka ban? Who knows? Sometimes it's tough to say because there's always like, okay, well, if you let the Soraka through, then maybe you're blaming the game on the Soraka, and it's also like, at the end of the day, people are gonna get champions that they're comfortable on, and they're gonna get good ones.
Exactly.
But you just gotta deal with what you give.
We need 6 bans on each side. There you go. We're going to take a brief program break, but do not go anywhere. The LCS promotion tournament resumes in 3.5 minutes.
High five, okay?
Yeah, let's go.
We can wait.
Suppression or knock him into silence. He actually can't cast any spells. The perfect layering of crowd control target early. Getting hit up, goes to the silence. Ult back into GBM, and they get the combo out, and he's gonna burn down to the Ignite. Kiwi trains it back. But
Oh, Mozart?
yeah, I'm on
Maja,
Mozart.
Maja.
Nice.
Nice.
Fight to the pin. Exhausted, no.
Jin in the back.
Jin in the back.
Jin is in the back.
Jin. No.
I'm dead.
Move mid afterwards.
Ready up.
Karma's dead. Karma's dead.
Karma's dead.
Nice.
In it.
There goes the Nexus in game 1. Goes Echo Fox.
Spells may be overcast too.
Welcome back, League fans, to the 2017 North American LCS Spring Promotion Tournament. We are here for Echo Fox versus Energy Esports. You're copying my pantomimes. We're chopping some wood, getting the furnace ready to power up the game for the second one here. Echo Fox prevailed in a 42-minute long bit of a slobber knocker in game 1. Took them a while, but they got it done.
Yes, they did. And they started in the mid lane, Froggen getting that first blood for them. It was a kind of close game, I guess, if you measure how quickly the advantages were earned. But if you look at overall the game, they had 65% of the buff in the game, 100% of the offense. They took all of the base. Gameplay where energy was big and then it all died. In game 2, Echo Fox took the 2 side, it's up around big, made it so Hard got first blood, technically, that doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It counts is Dragon set up that